Hi everyone, it's Phil from Expat Aviator, and I wanted to create a tutorial video to help people who fly on VATSIM with something they either shy away from or find a little bit tricky, and that is VFR in the United States on VATSIM. I did my private pilot's license 20 years ago in the United Kingdom, and around 3 years ago I moved to Cincinnati, Ohio, and I had to convert my license to an FAA ticket. Amongst that were a lot of new regulations and rules that I had to learn, and I guess the most interesting from a VATSIM point of view was not only the phraseology, but the airspace classifications. Now, real world, of course, there are some very strict rules about how the weather has to be to fly in different types of airspace. There are airspace classifications which really don't apply to GA, or especially don't really apply on VATSIM. So, the three you need to know on VATSIM are Class Delta, Class Charlie, and Class Bravo. For the purposes of VATSIM, Class Delta and Charlie are pretty much the same thing as far as rules are concerned on VATSIM. So let's look at the first one, Class Delta, the New Bedford Regional Airport. This is an example of a Class Delta. You see the dashed blue line? That means that is Class Delta airspace within the line. And you see this 2,600 feet, that means the airspace is from the surface up to and including 2,600 feet. If you want to be inside the airspace, you need to be talking to whoever is the top-down controller on VATSIM. If you need help on working out who the top-down controller might be, I'll leave a link to one of my other videos about flying VFR in the UK. It's exactly the same rule. So, just to recap, you do need to be speaking to somebody if there is top-down control on VATSIM for this Class Delta here. In this case, it's typically going to be some sort of Boston approach or Boston Center. Moving over to Providence, just west. The Providence Airport is surrounded by Class Charlie airspace, and you can tell that by this solid magenta line. The middle section, it shows, is from the surface to 4,100 feet, and the outers on the west side 1,700 feet to 4,100, and on the east side 1,300 to 4,100. So in theory you could fly at 5,000 feet right over the top of Providence and not be talking to anyone on a good day, and that includes on VATSIM. Same thing for New Bedford Regional, you could be at 2,800 feet over the top of the Class Delta and not be talking to anyone, and that's perfectly fine. Maybe not so smart real world, but it is fine. Same thing with the Class Charlie applies. You'll hear slightly different phraseology, but to be honest, you just ask the controller, tell them where you are, who you are, what you want, and they will pretty much tell you what to do. There's nothing to worry about. You're more likely to get given a squawk code at the Class Charlie, but not always. In either case, if there's somebody top down, you do need to be speaking to them. The last type of airspace is Class Bravo. Let's move up to Boston. Here is the Boston Class Bravo airspace. Class Bravo is the solid blue line, and all of the same rules apply about the airspace and where it goes from the surface up to 7,000 feet in this case. The same idea applies, that you do need to be speaking to a controller if someone's controlling it top down. But the difference with the Bravo is you need a clearance to enter the Bravo, exit the Bravo, or transition through the Bravo in some way. There is some specific phraseology which will say something like, you're cleared to enter the Boston Class Bravo airspace. Until you hear that phraseology, you should not be inside of the Bravo. Again though, speak to the controller that's top down. They're going to give you instructions. Read everything back. That really is all you need to know about it. The one last point I'll make is follow the VATSIM rules, especially the one about not connecting inside someone's airspace and not connecting on runways. Other than that, do what the controller asks of you. Keep it kinda sensible. Sure, you can fly into the Atlanta airport in a Cessna 152 on VATSIM, and that's fine. Is it really that realistic, especially if the controller is busy during an F&O or an event? Probably not. But to be honest, there's very few major US airports where you might want to think twice about bringing a GA in. If you want the crazy challenge, there's nothing stopping you. I think I watched a video recently where a guy took a 172 into O'Hare. So it's perfectly legal, especially if you, or I should say perfectly legal, assuming you want to pay the huge landing fee that you're bound to get. So let's jump inside the cockpit. Today we're going to do a short flight from the Greer airport, which is the class Charlie, over to Charlotte, which is the class Bravo. Okay, welcome to the Milviz Cessna 310. From my understanding, Milviz is one and only and final add-on for X-Plane. Tonight we actually have quite a few controllers on, including Greer approach, and that's because Atlanta are having their F&O on VATSIM this evening. I'm going to keep the GTN window open for most of the flight, if not all, just so that you can see exactly what's going on. You see there on the GTN, you can see the class Charlie airspace depicted quite nicely. You'll also see all of the Charlotte class Bravo depicted just the same. Now, if you don't have this add-on, you can also use the default X-Plane 430, which is modelled after the Garmin 430, and you can see these green rings, which is kind of unhelpful that they're not the right colour. That is the also is the class Charlie, and actually you can see that's a Delta. Golf Mike uniform is actually a class Delta, but it doesn't show you that. So let's see if there's any 80s tonight. It looks like the controller doesn't have any 80s up, but I can see that the weather is clear, pretty much no clouds, very light winds, and 3023 is set. So let's make our way over to the taxiway. Very simple taxiway at Greer. Pretty much Lima takes you everywhere. Alright, all we really need to tell the controller is who we are and what we want. We don't need to file a flight plan, so here we go. Greer approach, hello, Cessna 5225 Juliet. We're a Cessna 310 with information echo, taxi for VFR departure to the east.
Cessna 5225 Juliet, Greer approach, good evening. ATIS information echo is current, runway 22 taxi via Lima.
Runway 22 via Lima, Cessna 5225 Juliet. Let's see if we can depart from this intersection. Cessna 5225 Juliet, can we depart from Golf?
Cessna 25 Juliet, runway 22 at Golf, taxi via Lima.
22 at Golf via Lima, Cessna 25 Juliet. And 25 Juliet, we're ready for departure.
Cessna 25 Juliet, winds calm, runway 22 at Golf, clear for takeoff.
22 at Golf, clear for takeoff, 25 Juliet. Alright, so he didn't give us any other instructions, so in theory we ought to be able to just go in whatever direction that we choose. He may have said fly runway heading, he may have said after departure fly a particular heading, but he didn't, so we can do as we please. The GTN switched on the transponder for us, which is perfect. He also may have given us an altitude restriction, something like at or below 3,000 feet, but again, he did not do that. So we are free to climb to whatever we want and go wherever we want. So we'll head kind of towards Charlotte for now. And let's have a look where we are in the airspace. I'm going to level off at 4,000 feet today. I'll come back on the power very slightly. holding VFR to the east, so let's just go east for now.
Autopilot.
Cessna 25 Juliet radar contact through 2,200. Maintain VFR at or below 5,000. Direct on course approved.
VFR at or below 5,000 on course approved for 25 Juliet, thanks. So you can excuse
Autopilot.
my horrible autopilot skills. Let's set that heading bug on where we're going. Okay, that's a bit better. So remember, we're still inside that glass Charlie at the moment. Now what we can't do is enter inside the Charlotte class Bravo without a clearance. It's not about just speaking to them, it's about actually having a clearance as well. And typically you want to give them a call, you know, a good 10 minutes or so before you get to the airspace boundary. Really just so you try and avoid flying around and around in circles. Now an airfield like Charlotte is busy, as I expect it may very well be tonight. You can expect to be given vectors and altitude assignments and headings and things, and it's really important that you do exactly as the controller says. He's responsible for separating all of the traffic in his airspace. It varies by type and flight rules, but as far as you're concerned, he's trying to keep you away from everybody else that he's got, especially the jets.
Cessna 25 Juliet, your altitude restriction is removed.
Okay, no altitude restriction there. We'd like to go to advisory now. 25 Juliet, thanks for your help.
25 Juliet, change of advisories is approved. Thanks for flying at Greenville. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for the ATC, good night. There is actually a Charlotte 80s up, so let's have a listen to that first.
Center, 2-3, north of 2 airmen. Bird activity in vicinity of airport. On receipt of your ATC clearance, read MAC only squawk code. Red departure clearances do not require a read MAC. Include Continental ATC read MACs. Attentional aircraft. Hazardous weather information for Charlotte area available from Hazardous and Flight Weather Advisory Service, Flight Watch, or Flight Service Stations. Runway 523 closed. Ground control will assign runway with taxi instructions. Operate transponder with mode Charlie on the ramps, taxiways, and runways. Include your Continental read MACs. Upon receipt of your ATC clearance, read MAC only your squawk code. Advise on initial contact. You will have information Charlie. Charlotte Douglas.
Whilst we're outside of the Charlie and we're outside of the Bravo, we can pretty much fly wherever we want, and in a GA aircraft, I mean, you're not going to be going above about 10,000 feet anyway, so as far as you're concerned on VATSIM, you can make your way anywhere up to sort of 10, 14, 15,000 feet, and nothing to worry about. In actual fact, if you fly VFR on VATSIM, squawking 1200, just the normal VFR conspicuity code, and it's quite fun for the controllers to see you on the network and just see that you're just VFR traffic, not in their airspace, flying around. Especially if you're near to the Bravo, say, but you're not inside of it, it can be quite interesting for the controller to have to keep an eye on you, as the real world controllers really would. So let's see, we are 45 miles from Charlotte. We'll get a little bit closer and we'll give Charlotte Approach a call. I'll see you when we get there. Okay, welcome back. So let's take a look at this. We're heading towards Charlotte. This is, we can be at 4,000 feet below this is 6. But once we hit this little area here, then we do need to be talking to the controller. So let's slow it down. We can tell him that we're 40 miles to the west of Charlotte, and that we are to land at Charlotte, and that we have information Charlie. Let's hope we pick the right controller. Charlotte Approach, good evening, Cessna 5225 Juliet.
November 5225 Juliet. Charlotte departure, go ahead.
Cessna 5225 Juliet, we're a Cessna 310 around 35 to the west of Charlotte. We'd like to land at Charlotte, please.
Alright, November 5225 Juliet. Stand by one.
So just because he's talking to us does not mean we can enter.
5225 Juliet, contact Atlanta, Charlotte Approach 125.350. He'll get your numbers.
2535 25 Juliet. Thanks for your help. Good night.
LS 18 Center 3025 base 41.
Alright, so we're not cleared into that Bravo, so let's not fly towards it and freak the controller out. So he probably spoke to that other controller, so he's going to be somewhat expecting us, I would imagine. Charlotte Approach, hello, Cessna 5225 Juliet.
Aircraft calling your call sign, please.
Cessna 5225 Juliet.
Cessna 5225 Juliet, Charlotte Approach.
Cessna 5225 Juliet, we're a Cessna 310 around 35 miles to the west of the airfield. Information Charlie, we would like to land at Charlotte.
Cessna calling contact Charlotte departure 120.5 today.
We were just with 120.5 and they gave us to you, so I'm not sure if you want us to change back or not.
Alright, Cessna 5225 Juliet, just stand by 1 second for me.
Approach American 621, 1000 via the Parker, information Charlie.
American 621, Charlotte Approach, descend via the slips, correction. American 621, descend via the Parker 3 arrival, expect ILS approach from 18 Center, Charlotte altimeter 3025.
Via the Parker 3, plan 18 Center, American 621.
And American 1577, contact Charlotte approach 132.7, good night.
132.7, American 1577, good night.
American 611, descend and maintain 9,000, if I haven't already given it to you.
9,000, American 611.
Thank you, sir.
So you might think that this that we're experiencing now is a VATSIM thing. Honestly, I've had this real world as well, where the controllers are not quite sure who wants to work me. I don't take it personally, and just stay outside the airspace and wait for further instructions.
025 altimeter, can you say the runway again?
18 Center, sir, ILS 18 Center.
ILS 18 Center.
Typically on VATSIM it'll be a lot simpler than this, but I thought if I show you a worst case, then you should be confident enough to give it a go.
5 Juliet, Charlotte approach, reset transponder, squawk 1522.
1522, 25 Juliet. So easy in the GTN. So remember, still no
Number
clearance.
5225 Juliet, Charlotte approach, radar contact 30 miles west of Charlotte, proceed on course.
I'll proceed on course, 25 Juliet.
And 5225 Juliet, clearance of Charlotte, class Bravo airspace, maintain VFR at or below 3,500, please.
Okay, we cleared into the Charlotte Class Bravo, VFR at or below 3,500, Cessna 25 Juliet. Okay, so the first time he said proceed on course, that was not a clearance to enter the Bravo. So we would have to have called him up if we were getting closer and closer and we still hadn't got that clearance. So let's come down to 3,500 now so we don't forget. Let's go the right way. And that will put us underneath that 4,000 foot shelf. What's this one? 3,600. So we'll be actually underneath that one. And we won't enter the Charlotte Bravo until we get here, this 1,800 to 10,000 feet. Alright, so still technically below the Bravo. With descending traffic ahead of us that is 500 feet above.
Correction flight heading 020 and
we may be descending. Okay, level now.
020, and we have that, but we were set up for landing north, Blue Streak 5318.
Blue Streak 5318, Charlotte approach is currently, our correction, Charlotte's currently landing south, cleared direct. Deal X on the Banker 2 arrival.
Clear direct deal on the Banker 2, Blue Streak 5318.
Now comes the question, is that VATSIM traffic or is that weird X-plane traffic?
Number 5225 Juliet, traffic 2 o'clock. Is a unknown target, altitude indicates 3,000 northbound.
We got the traffic in sight, 25 Juliet.
Traffic.
Alright.
American 1840 Charlotte approach, are you on my frequency, sir? American 1985 contact Charlotte approach 132.7, good day.
132.7, American 1985, good day.
American 1840 Charlotte approach, here on my frequency.
Approach American 611, remit, frequency change.
American 611 affirmative, you should be Charlotte approach 132.7, sir.
Okay, we didn't catch one, but 327 American 611.
So I have a feeling we're going to get given to the West Tower. Which is 126.4. So let's preempt that. We'll see if we're right. This is kind of cool as well that it says Charlotte Tower. Well, 6 miles to go. We start slowing down.
Disregard.
Oh, that was almost our handoff.
November 5225 Juliet, enter right downwind runway 18 center, contact Charlotte Tower 126.4 today.
Now enter right downwind for 18 centre and 26.4, 25 Juliet, good night. Alright. We'll hand fly it. Charlotte is about 800 feet above the ground, so 1,800 foot would be a good circuit height. Let's give the tower a call. Charlotte Tower, Cessna 5225 Juliet, we're going to just be about to enter the right downwind for 18 center.
November 5225 Juliet, Charlotte Tower, enter left down, right downwind, runway 18 center.
Okay, we'll enter the right downwind for 18 center, 5225 Juliet. Alright, I'm going to put the other tower frequency in because I'm going to see if we can't sneak ourselves onto the other runway. Cessna 5225 Juliet, is there any chance that we can get 18 left to save us some taxi?
November 5225 Juliet, stand by. I might have a hole for you.
So what he's doing now, he's going to speak to the other tower controller and maybe the approach controller to see whether they can fit us in.
American 1577 cleared Echo 4.
American 1577.
So super sloppy downwind.
21-9 American 15.
I don't want to go too close to 18 right. Let's get the gear down and get configured. And he told us to join left downwind. He didn't say anything about not turning
November
base.
5225 Juliet, make right base runway 18 left.
Okay, we join right base for 18 left. We appreciate it, 25 Juliet. Alright, cool.
November 5225 Juliet, contact Charlotte Tower 118.1.
18-1, 25 Juliet. Thanks for your help. Good night.
Headwind 05, correction, wind 0506, runway 23, clear to land.
Clear to land 23, number 2, Ace 41.
Charlotte Tower, Cessna 5225 Juliet, right base for 18 left.
November 5225 Juliet. Are you going to be able to enter the downwind for runway 18 left, the left downwind?
Yeah, we can go left downwind now if that's what you need, 25 Juliet.
25 Juliet, roger, thank you. I just got a line of people for runway 23.
Sure, no problem.
Tower, American 763, holding short, runway left. American 763, Charlotte Tower, stand by. Stand by, American 763. Number 5255 Juliet, squawk 6322.
6322 for 25 Juliet.
Charlotte American 257823.
November, correction, American 2578, your number 3,
Traffic.
following a Boeing 717, 3 miles ahead, wind 0605, runway 23, clear to land.
23, clear to land American.
Ooh, that's quite a fun.
5255 Juliet, just turn right heading 070.
Right heading 070, 25 Juliet. Man, this aircraft is twitchy with my
American 763, Charlotte Tower, runway 18 left, line up and wait.
Line up and wait, American 763.
And there you go, you got someone coming in on runway 23. And someone else coming in on runway 23, which is kind of fun.
GoJet 550, welcome to Charlotte. Exit right when able, contact run 121.9.
121.9 and right when able, GoJet 550.
5255 Juliet, turn left heading 360, rejoin the left downwind, runway 18 left.
Left to 360, join the left downwind for 18 left, 25 Juliet.
Number 5255, correction number 5225 Juliet, I will call your base.
Roger, 25 Juliet. Alright, let's get back up to pattern height. And what makes me think was going on was he said, could I join the left downwind for 18 left? And I joined the right downwind and completely got in everybody's way. Awesome.
Record 763, departure's telling me I can't send you off a 18 left, so exit right at Charlie 11 and contact ground 121.9, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Contact ground 121.9. American 763.
5225 Juliet, turn base.
Turn base, 25 Juliet.
Ace 41, welcome to Charlotte. Contact ground 121.9.
Ground point 9, Ace 41, good night.
Okay, there's 18 left.
American 2578, welcome to Charlotte. Exit right when able, contact ground 121.9.
Right when able, ground point 9, American 2578.
November 5225 Juliet, wind 06085, runway 18 left, clear to land.
18 left, clear land, 25 Juliet. Alright, 3 greens, we can get some flaps out.
5225 Juliet, exit left when able to contact ground 159.
Left naval ground, 0.9. Thanks for your help, 25 Juliet.
Shot target evening, American 545, ILS 23 just outside Lee Car.
American 545, Charlotte Tower, wind 0605, runway 23, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 23, American 545.
Charlotte ground, hello, Cessna 5225 Juliet vacated on Romeo to the GA, please.
November 5225 Juliet, Charlotte ground, text to terminal by Delta, see ya.
Via Delta, thanks, 25 Juliet, good night. Alright, we'll make ourselves self-important.
1776, runway 18 left, text for Charlie, hold short, runway 23.
And we'll park right here.
18 left via Charlie, hold short 23, jet 1776, heavy, thanks. Sorry for the delay.
Alright, well, thanks everyone for sticking around and watching that mess. It started off as an ultra confident tutorial video, which quickly devolved into what not to do. Leave me some likes and comments, let me know what you thought of it, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye bye.